Emily.
Sam.
I forgot my SW. Let's try again. Alright, this is Emily SW.
Sam.
We're here to bring you a Nosferatu live react. The original 1922 silent film.
Oh, can we really call it a reaction though? Because we've both seen it.
That's true. We have both seen it.
I watched it last night.
I watched it extensively because I wrote a paper on it for a film class.
So I guess this will be more of a
Commentary.
Yes.
Yes. And we're doing commentary.
We're gonna try to say something intelligent.
Keyword try.
Try it, yes. Attempt.
It shouldn't be too hard because I wrote a whole paper. It was a short paper, but I did write a paper. So, yeah, so this is 1922, the silent movie.
Yes.
The original, well, quote unquote original. You can watch it on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find.
Yes, it's been public domain since 2018.
Yeah. So if you're curious, viewers, you can watch it for yourself. We're watching it at 1.5 speed,
and not the whole thing.
Yeah, we have select.
So
portions.
I made some notes about which scenes to watch, and when I watched it last night at 2 times speed, I was able to really focus on it, so I actually do have some thoughts now about this movie. I did not do that thing where I just zone out halfway through, and then like you blink, you're like, oh, it's over.
It's over. Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah, the speeding it up definitely helps.
Like I was saying to you earlier, not sure if it's because we're used to faster paced movies, or if just because like the title cards stay up kind of a long time.
They do, yeah.
And you linger on a lot of shots. Maybe not so good for a modern audience, but...
No, set it up, move on.
But watching it faster, I was able to, focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that says something about my attention span. I don't know. But also, because it clipped along better, it was very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I see now, like, why this is considered to be a very good movie when I don't zone out halfway through.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, because cinema has changed so much. We were also talking about this earlier. Like, so this was shot for an audience in the 1920s. Yes. We are now 100 years later.
Literally, yes, exactly 100 years.
So, cinema has changed a lot. So, I think watching it faster just kind of updates it. Brings it into the modern era a little bit.
It also makes some of the scenes really funny, especially with the carriage. Anyway, I'm going to start it. We can keep talking. So, Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. It's directed by F.W. Murnau, starring Max Schreck as Count Orlock. So this movie, and it just said it on the screen, in this version, is a adaptation of Dracula. But it's like an illegal adaptation of Dracula.
At the time, they did not get permission.
They did not have any copyright permission to make Dracula. And some of the versions you will watch will actually use the Dracula character names. This one has the German names in it.
Yeah, which they used different names in an attempt to buck getting sued. But that didn't work. They did, in fact, get sued, audience.
Yeah, well, also to a German production using English names.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
That's true.
But yeah, so they were sued by Bram Stoker's estate and actually lost the lawsuit, and this film was supposed to be completely destroyed, but it had already been distributed, so it survives. The title cards on this one are very different from the one on the DVD version that I have.
I was just thinking about that. These are more stylized.
Mm-hmm.
Or stylized in a different way, I should say.
Yes.
Okay, here we have the town. We have our protagonist.
Yeah, so our Jonathan Harker.
Schmonathan Schmarker.
And then introducing our characters here. So you have Hutter, who's Jonathan Harker from Dracula.
Yeah.
And his wife already. So in Dracula, this would be Mina.
Yep.
And I think in this version, she's actually supposed to be like Mina and Lucy put together, a little character. So I picked like the first 7 or so minutes of this just to get all the introductions to the characters.
Yeah. Oh, they're the title cards that were from your DVD. She's crying about the flowers being killed.
It was a little dramatic, actually.
Yeah.
When we killed the flowers that we grew in the garden.
Ooh,
Dun,
nobody
dun, dun.
can escape his destiny. That's chilling.
Foreshadowing. Real estate agent Knock is supposed to be the year equivalent of Renfield. We get a little bit more Baxter about him. So here we have, like, witchcraft stuff.
Yeah, they look like just random symbols that they just slapped on a page.
It kind of looks like alchemy symbols. But this paper comes up again. This is something I noticed, all the foreshadowing and the recurring things and stuff. So he sends that paper with Hutter, and Nosferatu is looking at it in the later scene. See, this is the stuff you would think I wouldn't notice that watching it twice as fast. But I noticed it watching it better twice as fast than at normal speed.
The problem is, if it's so slow, like, you take in the scene and then you're like, alright. A bit of sweat and perhaps
A bit of
blood. I'm not even gonna try and do a German accent. I'm just gonna stick with a poor English accent.
But you see, too, how there's still enough time to read all the dialogue.
Yes. He's got some eyebrows, man.
Very nice deserted house. Those are very nice houses, for sure. They're definitely deserted.
Yeah.
Opposite yours! This is a setup if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next part I picked just because it's kind of funny. Okay, here it is. I'm going to start with the dialogue about the wolves.
Ah, yes.
So Denton Harker, now he's in Transylvania, on his way to Orlock's castle.
Yeah, and the people of the village are very concerned.
Yeah. This is funny. So, can't go another werewolf. Remember how confused we were about why there's a hyena?
Yeah.
Because none of us were paying any attention to it before, right? Ready? Wait for this. There's our werewolf. It's the hyena.
Oh, it's the hyena. Okay.
Why was it easier to get a hyena than just like a big dog?
Yeah. Yeah, like, you'd think they'd have like hunting hounds or something.
Why did they use a hyena to be their werewolf?
It's funny because, like, I guess hyenas. I mean, we know what hyenas look like because we live in the 21st century and we have the internet and nature documentaries and stuff. But maybe the hyena was chosen because it looks stranger. Because they do have very strange body proportions.
Do look weird, but I just think it's really funny that somehow it was easier to get a hyena than it was just to find a big dog and, I don't know, slap some kind of costume on it.
That's true.
So, yeah, remember how confused we all were about why the heck's there a hyena? Because it's the werewolf.
It's the werewolf, alright, interesting. That was a choice.
Okay, so the next part, this is about where the novel actually starts.
Ah, yes, the carriage.
Yeah, so going up into the Carpathian Mountains. That was the only note I have about this part. This is actually where the novel starts.
Yeah, same as in the novel where he hires the carriage, but they're like, we ain't going up there. Are you crazy? That place is weird. There's hyenas and all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah, that's what you just said. It's creepy on the other side of the pass.
The Borgo Pass.
Right, you're on your own, pal. Good luck. Deuces. Go on, walk up there all by yourself, you You're in a foreign country, you don't know the language, you'll be fine. Oh, he crossed the bridge. He's entered another world that's symbolic.
That's true, actually. I was just, because I've been watching BuzzFeed Unsolved,
Mm-hmm.
so I got to the episode where they're on that demon bridge. So they talked about how bridges are like crosses between this world and supernatural world.
Well, especially over like the water too. The waters that keep on it. Our first glimpse, but we don't know. We don't know this is Count Orlock yet.
Not yet.
If you've read the book, you might have an inkling. Or if you have any facial recognition, you might have an inkling once you meet Count Orlock. The carriage ride is so funny.
I know, it was funny at normal speed too.
It was.
Because this is also sped up on their end. Like, the actual film is also obviously very sped up. And so we show the passage of time by just doing, like, a negative lighting to show, so now it's nighttime.
Look, there's the castle. Get in there, my dude.
And this also, too, is using color to show different times of day. The same as it did in Caligari, where the blue tint and the green tints in the Caligari.
Gotcha.
There he is.
Now we have the iconic Count Orlock, the Nosferatu. I love this shot because this shot really illustrates the differences between their like postures and their like
You know, it just occurs to me we never see the servants. He doesn't even have the 3 brides in this version.
No, that's true.
You'll see the color tint change. See, there's the paper.
Oh yeah.
From earlier.
All the symbols. Who cuts bread that way? What an animal.
That guy. The precious blood.
The precious.
They even kind of gave Orlock a bit of like a humpback.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like, because they make him broader up in his shoulders, and it makes him look skinnier elsewhere.
That's true. It also makes him look really elongated.
Yeah. My very dear friend.
They just met.
It's a little sus.
So that also is seen as very similar to the Dracula novel.
Yeah.
The dinner and...
Yeah, the main difference is that in the novel, he doesn't cut himself at dinner, he cuts himself with a shaving on the mirror.
Yeah.
Which is later. Which almost makes it more intimate when the vampire guy is there. It's like, oh, I'm in your bedroom. Don't do that.
Right. No, that is creepier. Okay. During the night, Nosferatu clutches his victim and sucks their blood like a gruesome life-saving drink. And that is what it is.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like anything. It is.
And then this, I had quite a long stretch because this stuff is all very interesting. This is where it really starts getting scary. I mean, it would probably be terrifying if you were watching this in 1922.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, this was important too. So the shadows and the nightmares were important because that comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so creepy. I love it.
Standing there.
So my note for this one was literally just scary stuff.
Yeah, this is kind of
Creepy.
comparable to when Jonathan in the novel is like, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have come here. This is a bad idea. Covers over your head. If you can't see it, it can't hurt you. This is a very famous image. Him coming through that door.
It is creepy.
It is. It's very creepy. Oh no, we've got the Lucy/Mina character.
This is kind of the part where I realized that she's supposed to be like both characters. I also realized she's walking on her toes.
Oh, she is.
Which is, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. It may just make her walking look a little more like
Airy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, she's sleepwalking. Sleepwalking is a very, like, gothic thing. I feel like. It's like, you don't know what you're doing.
So here's the shadows and nightmares, part 1. I skipped over it, but there was also a scene where Nosferatu sees a picture of Ellen and says, "Oh, she has a very beautiful life." So that's probably how he got to be targeting her. Are they linked through their dreams?
Yeah, is our Hutter, is he dreaming about Ellen and that's how Nosferatu can
Access her mind too?
It's an interesting concept.
Harmless blood congestions.
That sounds horrible.
Too,
Call of the Death Bird. Anyways, you were thinking.
I don't remember.
Okay.
There's like I don't necessarily know if it's just because of the understanding of medicine, but when you read a lot of old fiction, there's just like really generic ailments that people have.
Like humors.
Yeah. Well, humors are kind of something specific. So it's just like, you know, swooning or oh no, someone he falls out the window at a later point. So this is getting ahead of the movie a little bit. But he's got like a broken leg, and they say he's suffering from a fever. It's like fever, which is
Illness.
Generic ailment for everything.
Interesting.
I also realized why his fangs are the way they are.
Because of rat-like.
Because of the rats.
Yes.
Yes. They look like rat teeth.
I was just about to make a comment that they're very rat-like. Well, I think they've kind of made his character to be, you know, he's got the long nose and stuff, kind of rat-like.
Which also led me to thinking, because later on, again, we're getting on ourselves, there's like the whole plague. Rats, and the plague.
Yep.
And the black plague.
That's true.
I know the coffin lid just lifts itself.
Which again, like if you're watching this movie in 1922, movies are very new, especially narrative movies. That would probably blow your mind. Oh my god!
Especially that one too, because you can actually see it moving.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like there's like a smoke or a flash of light, and all of a sudden something's there.
They really like stop motioned it.
Yeah, so now he's escaped,
but he's fallen. This is where he fevers his leg.
Yeah, he gets found by some other people, and they take him in. And he has a fever.
Yeah, fever leg. Makes sense.
Okay. Which means that farmers, unless he managed to limp down the mountain, some farmers
Went
were up
there.
there.
Yeah. Or like there was like a river. Maybe he was like went down the river or something.
Well, the raft had all the coffins on it. With orlock in it.
Right. So now these poor unfortunate souls are loading the coffins onto the ship.
I can't hear the phrase "poor unfortunate souls" without Ursula singing in my head.
That's what was going on in my head as well. I'll be honest, that's why I said it.
Don't sing anymore. Disney songs.
Yeah, we don't want to make the mouse mad. Yup.
Looks pretty normal.
It's a coffin.
Totally normal car. Oh, it's full of rats.
Oh no.
But we didn't mention, and I don't know if the vampire chit chat will come up before or after this, but we talked about the different kinds of animals that vampires turn into. We talked about Dracula turning into bats and wolves, and Carmilla turning into like a giant cat. We didn't mention Orlock turning into rats.
No.
That was neglectful on our part.
It's true. That's really the only time vampires are associated with rats, though.
Yes. So this scene I also just wanted to include real quickly because they're looking at like microorganisms and the scene of
the
Venus
carnivorous
flytrap. So about like the nature consuming, like living things consuming other living things to survive. And I just thought that was really interesting that they're trying to put a scientific kind of slant to a supernatural being.
Yeah, especially because they don't, like... It still has the spiritual elements later, with, like, the sunlight and, like, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I just, like, this is a new addition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Dracula didn't have, other than whatever Van Helsing had to say.
Yeah, but he was kind of painted like a kook a little bit.
Okay, so we're at Plague. And this also goes along with the scientific aspect. Like, you have an unexplainable wave of deaths. What causes it?
Yeah, and they're causing it in an epidemic. Yeah. Young people are dying in masses, and they have strange scars on their necks.
So here's our real estate agent.
Oh, he's in the
knock.
Babylon,
the
right?
Renfield, or the
German
asylum. That was my note about that. That he's supposed to be the Renfield character.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to include the whole scene with the Demeter.
Oh, absolutely. This is, like, the creepiest part of the whole movie to me.
It was the Demeter. Right? I'm not making that up.
Maybe?
I feel like it was. Colleen can fact check me later. But I think it was. Because I was also thinking about how it was interesting that the ship is named after the goddess of, like, harvest.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Because that's what he wants to do. Does the Renfield character in this eat flies too?
Yeah, he does.
Because that's also a tie back.
It's like it's just one scene where they show him like grabbing like a fly out of the air.
But that also is a callback even to this movie with the fly traps.
Yes. But now, see, now it's clearly a supernatural entity.
Dragged all the crew with him into the dark grave of the sea. In the light of sunset, captain and ship's mate said goodbye to their last comrades. Avenge me, my brother.
All that's left from the crew that happened. I think this is also one of the more memorable scenes for sure. One of the most famous shots as well.
Yeah, because, well, I don't want to spoil it.
More rats.
More rats?
And rats bring the plague. Here it is.
Oh, yes. Chilling. Especially like with his fingers. Oh my god. I've changed my mind. I don't want to face evil. I'm not brave. I don't want to be a hero.
No, he just jumped right off the ship.
Given the state of the British Navy, he might not even be able to swim.
Or the German.
The German, I guess. Yeah, I guess the book is British.
Yeah,
this is German.
But also, we also have the vampire able to function in daylight.
That's true, which is funny because of how he's eventually vanquished.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is where, and we'll get to it at the end, but this is where the
Death Ship as a new captain.
This is where the vampires burning up in the sun comes from.
Yes. Yes.
As we discussed in the Vampire Chit-Chat, which later will be a
Yes. Well, if it's out, go watch it. If it's not out, look forward to it.
Alright, and then it's just more stuff with the ship. Eventually, Hutter and Ellen get back together. The ship drifts into port.
Oh yeah, I like this scene too. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
This is also exactly how it happened in the novel too.
Mm-hmm.
The drifted into port.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was. They found the captain strapped to the helm.
Yeah, but he's done. So then they go to the log. I love that note. Men acting insane. Unknown passenger below deck.
Which, again, is a new addition for the story. They've all been exposed to the plague. Even covering their nose with their allergies.
Yes, because that will certainly help. We've got the town crier.
The mayor announces that ill or plague-stricken people should not be seen on the streets and cannot be taken to hospital.
Lock your doors and die alone. Really is like the plague too, marking the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
It was Passover.
yes. Not very good on my religious knowledge.
This is an opposite thing though. The Passover, you marked the door so you would be saved.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Not to touch the book with the faces that had frightened him. That was another scene we skipped. He found the book that had all the Nosferatu information in the little village that he stayed in. So just cannot overburden your sleep with horrible nightmares. So this is where I wrote down my note that they are juxtaposing scene on like in the town with the plagues.
Mm-hmm.
So the science element with the supernatural element, which is going to be the shadows and the nightmares.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's having nightmares about the house across the street.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, Count Orlock has moved into.
Well, and the thing about the shadows kind of is a direct contrast. Shadows are the opposite of light in a way.
Because this is going to now teach us how to defeat the vampire. A sinless maiden makes the vampire forget the first crow of the cock if she were to give him her blood willingly.
So no, this has all sorts of symbolism. You've got the maiden and sacrifice.
And then we're just gonna have a mob chase after Knock, aka Renfield, for a while.
Ah, yes, I remember that, where he's like on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But we're gonna skip over that and we're gonna go to 1332. So yes, here we just have the mob chasing Renfield, and then we're back to the Count haunting her dreams.
She's swooning.
You already noticed there's a mirror up there.
Yeah. Right outside this house. Very creepy.
So by opening the window now, she can invite them. I think that is what's supposed to be happening here. She's saying, come in, come get it. And he's gonna do that walk. She is exposing her neck.
It's true.
She sends Hutter away. He's gone for a long time.
Yeah. Long enough for Count Orlock to do his creepy little walk.
He's gone for a full 7 minutes.
Yeah.
This shot is also very famous.
Iconic. Yes.
Walking up the stairs. But see, he's also a shadow. You see a shadow, not actually.
This is a lot more compelling than it's set up. And there's the shadow again. Now Hutter is fetching the doctor as he's been instructed. Or wherever he has been instructed.
They have caught Knock. This is also very famous. Bringing the first club. His red teeth.
Yes. So now
The master.
the maiden has sacrificed herself, kept Count Orlock occupied past when the sun rises.
And normally he shouldn't be terribly affected by the sun because we saw him in the morning, putting his coffees to it. But because he's killed an innocent maiden, he's going to pay for his crime.
Yes. And this is where...
He just burns right up.
This is where vampires burning up in sunlight comes from.
And that's how Ellen saves the town. The true hero of this story.
It's true.
She's like Mina, Lucy, and Van Helsing.
Pretty badass. She read the book. She armed herself with the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see that, I keep seeing the word butter. I know it's Hutter.
And yes, well, we're very sad that she destroyed the vampire and ended the play.
It's true. The wonder truly happened. The great death ended.
Wonders truly happened.
The great death ended the same hour, and before the triumphant rays of the living sun, the darkness of the death bird was blown away. So this is interesting. They keep calling him a death bird. There's a lot of mixed symbolism here.
I wonder if that is like a folktale kind of thing.
Oh, maybe.
You know how like crows are associated?
Yeah,
with
or like even bats.
Mm-hmm. The end.
Yes, a very, very good, iconic movie. It's really interesting, because now we've gone on this adventure. We've watched so many vampire. We've watched so many Dracula adaptations, Twilight.
Yeah, we watched the, was 32, right? 1932 Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Undead.
We watched, was that 1992 or 1991?
I think it was 92.
Why are they all ending two?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a little weird. But the 90s with
Gary Oldman.
Mm-hmm. Natalie Portman.
No, Winona White Ryder.
Or, yeah, Winona Ryder. Wrong person. Clearly I have a type. A Nosferatu, I think, is one of my favorites.
See how much better it is when you're not just like, alright, I've been staring at the scene for 5 minutes now and time to think about something else.
Yeah, seriously. It's a lot, like, creepier when it's actually moving at a normal pace.
I think ideally, like, you would speed up the title. I mean, I know they make the title card slow because not everyone reads as fast as we do.
Yeah.
I know I read very fast.
Same.
But some of the scenes could definitely be sped up, but leave like the really iconic ones, like the walking up the stairs, like the regular pace.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, we didn't come here to talk about the pacing of the movie per se. No. The pacing of the movie definitely affects it.
Yeah. So that was the original Nosferatu. Okay,
that's it from us today. Hopefully, this was not horrible.
Hopefully, I don't want to do it again.
Watch this movie for the 4th time. This has been the 4th time I've watched this movie. I have only fully understood it from the 3rd time onward.
Alright, well, deuces, you two.
Stay haunted.
Bye!